For trades on GU, I'll be going over the trades that are available. I will also be going over the trade I took, and yeah, pretty much. So GU on the daily time frame, starting off from the daily, you can see this low was taken out. Okay, the market pulled back into this liquidity block. Okay, this right here being the liquidity block. Now, this liquidity block is with structure, and for that reason I wouldn't be looking for blind entries right away, as that does not fit the system, right? I need to see confirmations, proper confirmations. Not only that, I need to see a lot of liquidity to the upside for me to be targeting. And yeah, pretty much. Now, because this is a liquidity block, it can give reactions, but not all the time, right? So that's the reason why I wouldn't be looking for entries in all the way down here. I'll be looking for confirmations as it goes up. And yeah, pretty much. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, you can see, these lows were also taken out. Market came into the extreme of that liquidity block. Okay. After that, the market started moving to the upside. And on the 4-hour, you can see that these highs were taken out. Okay, so these relative equals right here were taken out. All that liquidity is taken out. There is more liquidity above. But yeah, pretty much. Like right here. But yeah, pretty much. The market took out that liquidity, this liquidity point right here, which fueled the market to go lower. And then what it does is not really shown on the 4-hour time frame. For that reason, you go lower. On the 1 hour, still not as clean as I would like to see. So you go down to 15. Okay, so on the 15, you can kind of see that structural highs and lows over here wasn't clean on the 1 hour, and that's why I went down to the 15. So yeah, you can see on the 15, this low swept. Okay, so a couple things. This right here is the previous high before that moved down, clearing that liquidity. Okay, so now the market can come into this area, but it can also go lower, right? So for that reason, you have to see what the market does, okay, and not just enter. So what you see is the market takes out this low, okay, creating that liquidity block for us. Okay, so this right here being the liquidity block, and then moves higher. Okay, having that BOS to the upside. Okay, so that right there is the BOS to the upside. Now, let me go down to the 5 because it is a lot cleaner on the 5. And on the 5-minute time frame, what you can see is this right here is the BOS creating this higher high. And then the market pulls back, respects this low right here, right? Respects all these lows, creating that that higher low. And then has another BOS to the upside right here, creating this high right here, which is your higher high. Okay, so creates that higher high, comes into this POI or this previous high right here. Okay, so a couple things. There's always buyers and sellers on both sides of the market, right? You're gonna have buyers, you're gonna have sellers. That's the nature of trading. You can see that, traders that are thinking it's a sell, they're seeing this as the high. This is the lower low. This is the lower high. This right here is the lower low, and then this is the lower high, and then this is the lower low, right? So they would want to be selling from here. Buyers are going to be thinking, okay, BOS to the upside, pulled back into this area, BOS to the upside, and then they want to be buying here. Okay, so these are two areas that we are not allowed to trade from. Okay, so let me just mark it out. Okay, these are the two traps within this price range. And so what you see is you want to see the market above here. Okay, why? Because it respected this high, okay, and had a BOS to the downside. So two things happen because of this BOS. Buyers get trapped, right? The buyers don't want to enter right here. Okay, they get trapped, and sellers get induced. Okay, so when buyers get trapped, they're thinking, oh my god, it was really sells. Okay, so this POI. So I'm just waiting for this pullback into this area right here, and I'm gonna sell from here. Okay, so that's what they're looking for. And so sellers are induced, buyers are trapped. To be honest, I'll be marking out this low right here, as this is the area where, you know, buyers got induced from. And this right here is your liquidity block. Okay, so I would enter anywhere inside of this area right here. So let's say you just enter from below this candle right here. Now that was during CPI, so not a lot of people would be able to catch this. I believe Marco took this one right here, and he targeted the highs. Okay, giving him a nice 1 to 4, I believe. And yeah, pretty much. I wasn't able to catch this one right here. It was during CPI, or at least a minute or two right after CPI. Regardless, what I waited for was a confirmation entry, and this is where I ended up missing out from the entry over here. Waiting for a confirmation, and the market, what it did was had this BOS to the upside, respected this low. Okay, so I had this low marked out, and then had another BOS to the upside. Okay, so essentially I was waiting for the market to pull back right here and come lower. Okay, so I wanted the market to come for this low right here and then go higher. Unfortunately, that's not what the market did. It just respected it. Okay, built liquidity for later and then moved higher. Okay, so as I can see, a couple things I can see over here is order flow wise: high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then higher high, higher low, higher high. Right, I seen the market took this out, but there is liquidity here, so I'm waiting for this liquidity to be cleared. And then what the market did was just come for this low. Okay, it did trap some buyers, but because there is still liquidity below here, I did not enter here, and the market started moving to the upside. Okay, so I seen a couple things on the 1 minute time frame. I seen the market print to this high, print to this low, and then moved higher. Okay, you can say this is your BOS to the upside. Okay, and then the market respected this area right here. To be honest, you can even see this low right here was respected. And then this low being the liquidity block right underneath a trap. That's how I took it, right? Let me actually mark this one out right here, just to show that BOS to the downside. Right, so came higher, created a high, BOS to the downside, inducing sellers. The reason I took it from here was because the market built liquidity here. Okay, so it built liquidity there, trapped buyers, and came into this liquidity block. Now, could the market have come lower into these areas? Yes, it could have, and for that reason, I added half the usual volume I usually drop, and this is where I entered the trade, targeting the highs. Okay, so I entered right at the top of this liquidity block. And yeah, pretty much I was being a little too greedy. Well, I wouldn't say too greedy, it worked out, but because I kind of waited for this candle. But yeah, regardless, it worked out. But you know, sometimes you end up missing the trade. The market can easily just come for this too and then move without you. Since I was going to drop the less than the usual drop volume I drop, I wanted a smaller stop. For that reason, I waited for a deeper pullback. And yeah, pretty much, I entered right here, keeping my stops below this liquidity block. Buyers were trapped right into liquidity block, engineered liquidity at the highs, and then yeah, pretty much. I targeted this high, because I knew the market needed to come for these highs, or that's what I was expecting. And also, another thing, in terms of managing the position, let me actually move this to the side right here. Okay, this trade right here, if you were to get into this trade, in terms of managing the position, as soon as the market broke above this high right here, okay, it can still react from this high because it is a liquidity block. It can still react and come lower and come for this low, right? Because now this low has liquidity underneath. For that reason, as soon as it broke above this high right here, I went break even. Right, I kept my stops. I moved my stops to break even, and if it did pull back and take me out break even, I'm fine with that. I would look for a better entry. But yeah, pretty much I entered here, went to break even as soon as this high went out, and then the market decided to just go straight to TP. Quick, easy 1 to 6. This is the one I entered. I believe Marco entered this one too. And this one right here, Marco entered. I didn't get into this one as it was during CPI. Yeah, pretty much. That is the end of the GU case study, and I will see you guys in the next case study.